Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Legal Insights with myself, Tebello Mutsane. I'm an attorney by profession and the founder of a platform called Sister in Law, which is a platform dedicated to empowering women through legal education. On today's episode, I will be discussing marriage contracts. This is a topic that I am very, very passionate about. Those of you who've been following me for some time on my social media platforms know that I'm continuously speaking against being married in community of property, and now even more against it because I have learned what the pandemic has done to relationships and what it has done to our personal finances as individuals. So now more than ever, I would really just like couples to continue or consider rather being realistic rather than to go in heart first. Always go in head first as well, because there are legal consequences attached to the type of marriage that you and your partner have. In South Africa, there are 3 types of marriages which are legally protected. This is a civil union, a customary marriage, and a civil marriage, which is the one that most people are familiar with. There are also 3 types of marriage regimes, which is marriage in community of property, marriage out of community of property with accrual, and marriage out of community of property without accrual. If you get into a marriage without having entered into a marriage contract, being the ante-nuptial contract, then you'll automatically be married in community of property. Whether or not it's a civil union, a customary marriage, or a civil marriage, you will automatically be married in community of property if you do not sign an ante-nuptial contract before you get married. And especially for the Black couples who are going to observe traditional payment of lobola and all of that, it is advisable that you get this contract before the negotiations take place, just so that we avoid having to decide later on whether or not you were married in community of property or out of community of property, or whether or not a marriage indeed exists. It's just within your best interest to have that contract done before the negotiations take place. So I'm going to start off with in community of property, which basically I actually really like explaining it with the use of apples, but I don't have any apples right now. And if you've been here for some time, I didn't have apples in the last video, but that's besides the point. So marriage in community of property is as follows. If all the assets and the liabilities that you and your partner had before the marriage form part of the joint estate during the marriage. So everything you had, student loans, any kind of loan, whatever it is, cars, homes, whatever, and any kind of assets that you may have had before marriage, shares in companies, houses that are paid off, or cars that are paid off, whatever asset that you had before the marriage then becomes part of the joint estate during the marriage. It, regardless of whose name the property is in or the assets are in, those will form part of the joint estate. And upon dissolution of the marriage, whether through divorce or through death, the estate will be split into 2, and each partner will walk away, or each spouse will walk away with 50% of the joint estate. This means that if there are liabilities, also if the liabilities of the joint estate exceed the assets, then both of you are going to walk away with nothing, regardless of the fact that the asset, or rather the debt that is being considered is a loan that was taken out by your husband or your wife before you got married. That will now be your debt as well, because you've inherited it by virtue of being married in community of property, and you will then be liable for that student loan that your partner didn't pay off before marrying you, or that your partner didn't pay during the marriage. And then we have what is called marriage out of community of property with accrual. Now, this only happens, so basically when you are deciding on which ante-nuptial contract to conclude, you'll either have it concluded with accrual or without accrual. If it is with accrual, then everything that you have after the marriage will be calculated in the accrual, but not debt. So you will have your individual estates. You'll come in with your assets and your liabilities. Your partner will also come in with their assets and their liabilities. The liabilities especially will not form part of your marriage, so you won't be liable to pay off your partner's debt. But the amount that you accrue after the marriage is what's going to be calculated at death or divorce. So if I can explain it in this kind of way, if you are married for 10 years, so you get married in 2021 and you guys decide to divorce in 2031, and one of you have made more money in the time that you've been together, then you will be liable to share with the party who hasn't made a lot of money a portion of your assets and your gains, basically. So if you have 10 million rand at the end of the marriage and your partner has 7 million rand, then the court is going to subtract the 7 from the 10 and you'll be left and there will be 3 million rand left, and that is what is going to be divided between the two of you. So that will be divided 50-50 and you will walk away with now 8.5 and your partner will also walk away with 8.5. And that is, the law's way of making sure that everybody walks away on an equal footing and everybody can basically have the same quality of life as they had in the marriage, or everybody will at least start on equal footing and have the same quality of life as each other, and nobody will walk away disadvantaged. Then the last contract I want to discuss is marriage out of community of property without accrual. The easiest way to explain this to you is to say that what is yours, what's mine is mine. Like that is it. Like that contract says that whatever you came in with, whatever you make while you're married, is exactly what you're going to leave with after the marriage is dissolved through death or divorce. So all your assets and liabilities will remain yours during the marriage, and you won't have a claim. You won't have a claim from your partner, and your partner won't have a claim from you, and you also won't be liable for their debts. If you want more information on antenuptial contracts or more information on anything pertaining to family law, really, please do drop me an email on advice@sisterinlaw.co.za. That's advice@sisterinlaw.co.za. Please note that there is a consultation fee payable for legal advice, and that I don't offer services pro bono. And also note that there are costs associated with drafting your antenuptial contract if that is something you are interested in. For other information that I have discussed over the years, please visit my social media pages. I have put the links in the description box below, so please do acquaint yourself with those platforms, and let's keep the conversation going, and let's keep the legal educational platform going as well, and let's teach each other, because when you know better, you do better. So if you found this video educational and informative, please do share it with your loved ones and drop a positive comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. Until next time, bye.